Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Can I please remind you to subscribe, share with family and friends? Okay, today we're going to explain different sounds in French. We call them phonetics. So yeah, it's the same like in English we say phonetics. So in French we have three different accents. So we have the acute accent, which is this way, and that's a grave accent, which is this way, and the circumflex accent. So sometimes you might see those one on top of e, and a. So yeah, for start we have a phonetic. That's the phonetic, and the sounds is a without the accent. It still sounds a, and the a with the grave accent is still a. And then the a with the circumflex accent is still a. Right. Here we have o. That's the phonetic. But the sounds, the spelling, there's three different spellings. So they all sound o. So here we have o on its own, which still sound o. You might see that in some words, but it still sound o. You might see a, u. It still sound o. That's how you spell it, but it sounds o, o. And then also you might see e, a, u. It still sound o. So the sound is o, but you got three different spellings. So o, o, o. And here we have o, o. So it's still o on its own, but you might see in some words when you're reading it become o, o. So bear in mind. Here we have u, u. That's phonetic. That's how you spell it, but it sounds u, u. That's quite straightforward from the alphabet. When you go back to the alphabet video, you will find the similarity. So here, that's a, a. That's a. That's how you spell it, a, but that's how it sounds, a. That's a. And that's e, e, e. So, yeah, that's the sound, and that's how you spell it, e. Um, Also, we have here, It's still spelled a, u, but it sounds sometimes, But here is o, u. It still sounds All right. Here we have e, e. That's phonetic. That's how you spell it, and it sounds e, e. Phonetics are really important in readings, when you're reading a word. So yeah, we have p, p, p. You spell, that's p. So if you see p on its own, only one p, it still sounds p, p, p. If you see double p, like p twice, it still sounds p. But most of the time, when it's the beginning, that's where it's like p. But double p, most of the time you find it inserted in a word. I mean, inside a word. That's what I mean here. But it still sounds p, p. But here we have b, 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 b. But here we have d, d. That's d. D, D. But here we have T. It's T, T. Okay, if you see one T, it still sound T, T, T. But sometimes you might see T twice, one T, two T's. So most of the time also here, you might find a in between, you know, a word. I mean, inserted in a word. So it still sounds T, T, T. Similar to this one, M, which is M, M, M. It sounds M. But you might see as well sometimes here M twice. That's M, M. It still sounds M, M. So same like this one. You have N, N, N. Whether it's one or twice, but it still sound N, N, N. Okay. We come to here, that's V. That's V, V, V. That's the sound, V, V. And then here we have F. The sound is F, F, F. So also here as well, if it's one, it's F. If it's twice, it still sound F, F, F. Right. Now we come to A. That's A. Okay, the A with the acute accent here is still A. A. Okay. But we have four way of writing sounds A. The first one is A on its own with the with the acute accent here. That's A, A. But here, E, R, E, R. It sounds A. That's A, A, A. Also here we have A, T, A, T, T, A and T. That's A. It still sound A. So if you see a T at the end of a word, it still sound A. A. Okay, here as well, you might see Z at the end of a word, like avez, vous avez. Remember when we did the conjugation, we said vous avez, which means you have. You have. There's AZ at the end. Okay. Now the sound eh. Eh. That's phonetics. That's how you write the phonetic. Eh. So you see here A with grave accent. It's a grave accent. So it starts from the top left, coming down to the top to the bottom left. No, yeah, to the bottom right. So that's the grave accent. But it sounds eh, eh. And here you see E-S-T, E-S-T. So it still sounds eh. Like if you said il est. Remember when we did the conjugation, we said il est, which means in English, he is. Eh is E-S-T, but you just say eh. You don't say est. No, no, no. That's eh. Another way of writing sound eh is A-I. A-I. If you see this one, it's eh. That's how it sounds, but that's how you spell it. It's still eh. Also here, we got A-I, which is still sound eh, eh. We got with the circumflex accent is still eh, eh. Right. We have the sounds If you say that's how you spell the phonetic Okay, we got 4 different spelling of you know. So we have an, which is still we have en, which is still we have am, which is still we have em, which is still but here that's the sounds oo. That's the sound oo, but that's how you spell it, ou. So if you see ou, it sounds oo. That's oo. That's how you spell oo. Ou. That's the sound oo. L. That's the sound L. That's quite straightforward. It's easy. So even in the alphabet, that's how you spell L. So this is how it sounds L. That's easy. So we come to R. Sometimes R on its own, it sounds R. R twice, it still sounds R. That's R. So also here we have S. So that sounds so. So if you see S twice, it still sounds so. Right here, that's say. In some word, if you see say in the middle of somewhere, in a word, sorry, it still sounds so. So it's like so. So all right, now this is say with that little thing underneath, which looks like 5. So you write say, and then you put this thing underneath. We call it say D. So that sounds so. Okay. Like if you want to write franc-maçon. So yeah, maçon, un maçon. So you write CCD, and then here we have the sound k, which is ka, but we have 3 ways of spelling the sound k in French. Say on its own sometimes can sound k. It can be a bit confusing, but here say on its own sounds s. But here say on its own sometimes can sound k. Okay, let's say for example, I'll give you an example. If you say camera, like a camera, you know, the camera on your phone. Well, in French we say caméra. So that's it starts by C, but it sounds k, camera. But okay, we have here Q and U. That one together, it sounds k, like car. And then also car on its own sounds car. That's quite easy. Car. But here, C and H sound sh. Like in English, if you write S and H, it sounds sh. You know, like if you say she. But here is instead of SH, you put C hash, which gives the sound sh. Okay, now the sounds z. There is 2 different spelling of sound z. Okay, if you write S on this one S, sometimes it will sound z, z. Okay, here for example, if you say la chemise, which is like a shirt, but you will see s at the end is se, chemise, you know. So in that case, this one spelled s, but it sounds z, like z, z. But sometimes z on its own, it sounds z, z. So that's quite easy here, but here can be a bit confusing because here it sounds z, but and then here, remember, it sounds s, s. So yeah, and then we have here the sounds g, g, g. So G on its own, it sounds g, g. But G, U together, it still sounds g, g. Like, okay, I'll give you an example here. If you said la mangue, mangue, that's how you spell the mangue. But if you add E here, and then you had manga, which is in English mango, you know, manga. So it's G-U, it sounds g. Right, now let's come to the sounds eh, eh. So it's like, remember, the easy way to remember this one is like when you're counting, you say un, deux, so un, un. So yeah, so we have en, which sounds en, em, which still sounds en, en, still sound en. AIM still sounds AIN, which sounds as well. So remember, eh. So there is a 5 way of spelling the sounds but they're all the same. So I mean, they all sound the same, but the spelling is a bit different. So, okay, we have here jo, the sound jo. So, which is like J on its own is sound jo. J on its own sounds ja. Now sometimes J E sounds jo as well. Jo. So if you see this one somewhere, it can be at the end of a word, or it can be in between a word, or somewhere before the end of a word, or something like that. So it still sounds j. Now the last one, we have the sounds nyo. That's nyo. So jn sounds nyo. Jn, nyo. All right. Thank you very much for following. Don't forget to subscribe and share.